we thought this might be a good way to bring a report rather than each of us getting up and taking 5 or 10 minutes. All of us taking a couple of minutes and just kind of summarizing a little bit about the trip. And we're here at the last day, and Jerry, it takes a while to process everything that's packed into just a week of time, and we'll be processing it probably for a while, but just first impressions, talk a little bit about what you've seen.
Well, this is my first time to come to El Salvador, first time to come to Ataco, and it's been impressive. I guess what I'll have to say is the people are very welcoming, very loving. The church genuinely loves each other and cares for each other there. As far as our mission team goes that we brought with us, could not ask for a better group of adults and tremendous young people.
Yes.
And he's worked very, very hard and deeply touched.
Things stand out to me, the cooperation of the church. It's a young church. The congregation itself is just a year old, but it's a lot of energy, enthusiasm, dedication to the Lord. The preachers in this area stand out. 8 or 10 of them, I don't know how many we met, but come out every day and knock doors with us.
Work together.
There's no animosity, no jealousy. They seem to love each other, care for each other. Been very encouraging about the services and the preaching and the singing and all that we've got to do and being a part of this. It's been, Jerry, kind of what you and I talked about it earlier today. It's been kind of an old-fashioned campaign in some ways, and I love that.
It's been a long time since we've had the opportunity, since I've had the opportunity, just to really to be in a home, and you ask everybody to open their Bible, and men, women, children go back to the room, they come out and they open up their Bible, and they're all reading the scriptures together.
And it's been fun.
That's typical.
And we're a long way from the road right now. We've done some relief work, and I'm sure some of the campaigners that have been with us will talk about that. We've done some benevolent work. We've done some edification in the church. But the thing that's made this so neat is going into communities and conducting some Bible school and gospel meeting each night, being able to preach, to teach, and then, as Jerry said, going to people's homes, opening the Bible, and having just a one-on-one Bible study with people. It's just been a thrilling trip. Thank all of you who prayed for us, who gave to help make this happen, who gave a mission Sunday to help make this happen, who supported others in this trip, and you were part of this trip as much as we were, and we look forward to everybody on the trip taking a few minutes to tell us about what we did. I'm here with Miss Linda Fry. It's the last night. We're doing some wrap-up talks and everything, and one of the neat things about this trip has been that we've had a few of us that were a little older and then a number that were younger, and the mixture that's been really positive. And you get to join me in the little bit older group. Sorry, but it's been kind of neat to have that mixture.
Yes,
and fun interacting. I'd like to ask, you've done other mission campaigns, I know. What made this one special?
Well, in the other campaigns, I had not gone into the actual homes themselves. All the work was done with the VBS or working at the church building itself. And this particular one, we went into the homes and we sat down, and just sitting in the home and looking around, basically it was nothing. Some of them were dirt floors. If they did have a floor, there was just minimal furniture. Just made me sit there and realize how truly blessed I am and how much we take for granted. Having a refrigerator that ran, or a stove that you could just cook on and not have to carry your water from one place to another in order to have something to wash your dishes, wash your clothes.
Talk a little bit about VBS and how you think it was effective. How do you think it impacted the people that were there?
If nothing else, it was very joyful. The kids are all smiling and laughing, having fun, but at the same time they were learning. And they came back the second night and they were asking to sing the songs that we had taught them the night before, and they remembered. And going into the houses today, seeing the crafts or the papers that we handed out to them. So they're really took it to heart.
Some of them hanging on the wall. They're proud of it.
They were very proud of it, yes.
And it brought the parents out, didn't it?
It did. It did. Even tonight, you know, maybe the kids came over, but the parents were listening from the porch, or the kids would go over and kind of drag their parents over.
What do you feel best about what you did on this trip?
Just being a second set of hands for what was needed at the time. I was very impressed with, on this evangelistic campaign, about how well it was run and then the follow-up. So that was, on some others that I've been on, this one was more of a pleasant surprise. And just, I think like my dad said, being that silent partner in a Bible study wasn't always necessarily the words you say, but it's the presence of having a fellow Christian talking to you.
Yeah. All right. So we actually went into homes. So what was it like? Kind of give someone an experience of going up to someone's home on this trip.
Well, for me, it was unique because each group of people from Spring Meadows was paired with a translator, but the man, Fernando was his name, who I was paired with, didn't speak much English, like, at all. Like, he could say, like, nobody home, and that was about it. But I'm taking Spanish, so I, like, pick up several things he says. But it was just interesting to see how receptive the people are, and they were just like, everything he would say, they would like nod and be like, yes, and they're so welcoming. We got to sit down for like 30 minutes or so talking to them. It was awesome.
Think the trips changed you in any way?
I think so. I think just the simplicity of opening up the gospel and talking about it is something that I had never even like considered doing, like with like friends or something, but I think I would like to try that sometime, like in the United States, just talking about the gospel.
Well, it's getting close to midnight as we record these, the last night of the campaign, trying to get everybody in and talk a little bit about the trip and what we experienced. We're here with Kayla Ford. Kayla, is this your first time out of the country? It's not, is it?
It is.
First time out of the country?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well,
So I'd like to know what you expected and then what it was like.
Okay. Well, I expected it to be really fun because I was really excited, and it was really fun and it was really exciting. I wasn't really nervous until like the day before when I actually had to start packing, and it was honestly like everything I'd expected in a good way. Like, I really enjoyed it. Mm-hmm.
What that you got to do on this trip did you personally enjoy doing the most?
I don't know. I guess just interacting with the people from the church. Their culture is so different from ours that it's just, they're so personable and like friendly and I don't know, like just really nice. And so it was refreshing to not be like timid with them or like just be able to, I don't know what I'm trying to say, just like be able to interact with them on a really personal level, and that was really refreshing, and I hope I take that back to the States. They're really nice people.
You have a good time?
I did. It was fun.
What has impressed you the most of everything you're going to do? You did.
What impressed me the most was how, like, when we would go to, like, get stuff set up and stuff like that, like, everyone would help, even if they didn't really know, like, what we're supposed to do. They would still try. Like, the little kids, they would try to carry, like, the really heavy stuff, even though we all knew they couldn't really carry it. Mm-hmm. But they tried to help no matter what, and it was just really nice.
Okay. So you were on my door knocking team. What do you think of going in people's houses and all?
Well, I'd never done that, and it was really cool. And some of the stuff, like, shocked me. Like, when we went to the Catholic person's house, like, her little stuff on the wall, like, I was like, oh my goodness, like, it just kind of, like, hit me.
And it just really shocked me how like some people would be like, yeah, and they would like listen and really like soak in what you're saying. The other people were like, yeah, I'm listening, but I'm not really going to do anything, but I'm still going to listen. So.
What has made the strongest impression on you?
I think, well, of course the people. I mean, that's just, it's so different.
Tell a little bit about Carlos. I know he's the local preacher here in the church.
He's wonderful. He's got a little family and he's so sincere, and I told him several times that I couldn't understand what he was saying, but at the same time I could understand because he was so expressive and so gentle, and he's a wonderful person. He really is.
I'm here with Tom or Tomos or Tomas or
Tomas.
And
Mi
Tom,
nombre es Tomas.
You're a llama named Thomas.
Yes.
Okay. And Tom's been on quite a number of campaigns and several with Jim and on the trips he's put together. This is your first one to El Salvador, though.
That's correct. First time in the country.
So just share a couple of things that have made this one different than the others and some comparative stuff.
Many of my trips in the past have been more specifically focused on medical or dental and that type of aspect. This one was purely evangelistic with the Vacation Bible School, the Gospel Meeting, the in-home Bible studies. Absolutely phenomenal trip. The people are so genuine here. They welcomed us into their home. We saw a lot of people in need. We knew we were going to see that, and that, just being able to do the little things to help meet some of their needs,
But they were in need, but they weren't. I have to say that they weren't begging.
No, they're very content. They're content with what they have. They are happy, and it's just a phenomenal experience.
Okay, the strongest impression you'll take on this. The thing that 10 years from now, here, going back and looking back at this trip, you'll say, and I remember this.
I think it's the local people and how open they were and sincere they were with meeting us and accepting us and letting us talk to them. And Jim, in his prayer, I think last night in our devotional at night, said, actually it was his prayer, that we had no idea how many generations would be affected by what we did this week. And I mean, obviously not us, God, but that's pretty impressive.
So you think you'll ever come on another one?
Oh, I already told Steve every year, next year.
So you've really had to break outside some barriers that you're not comfortable with food-wise and culture-wise. Talk a little bit about what it's been like.
I've had to eat all kinds of spicy food.
And you don't do that?
I do not do that. But if you want to live and survive in this country, you're going to have to do that.
And you've slept really well every night?
Real well, since I was able to pick up a fan.
After the first night?
Yes, after the first night.
All right. So what do you think of third world countries?
Well, my impression of this country is that the people, they may be poor, but they're not poor in spirit. The people we have met seem to love God and striving to follow Him. We need to have more trips like this in the church to give them the opportunity to find out what the truth really is.
So we did a lot of door knocking.
Yeah.
What was it like going up to the door? Give me a 30-second synopsis of what it would have been like for this 1 hour visit after you got to the door.
You knock on that door, you don't know what you're going to expect. I don't know who's going to answer that door. Obviously, there's a language barrier for us, though. The people here are very receptive. You do door knocking in the U.S., as you know, and a lot of the time they won't answer the door. They know, they figure out why you're there quickly. Here, they're much more receptive just to anybody, who stops by, who says hi. And so they welcome us into their home. They very much so curious about the Bible. They want to study, want to learn more. And those are all things that are very encouraging. And so lots of promise and lots of possibility.
So talk to us a little bit about your impressions.
Well, it's a lot different than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be, I thought it was going to be, not to say more difficult, but the experience was a lot different. Like, I didn't think it was going to affect me as much. I thought it was going to be more of like a task, like go up, do something, but it was more of a conscience kind of help that it gave me, I think. So.
It was fun.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Met a lot of people. Gonna miss a lot of people, but made a lot of friends.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're about done with this.
About done with this thing.
It's 2:30 in the morning. No, it's not. Sitting here
It is
with
at
Jerry.
home. It is at home.
It is. Sitting here with Jerry. First mission trip we've ever been on, been on together, and you've been on quite a few mission trips.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mexico, first time in El Salvador, but a lot of stateside and a lot in Mexico. Kind of Alaska's mission trip, but you know, it is Alaska.
So how's this been different?
Very similar to other third world countries that I've been in. I'll tell you, Dale, this one has been one that I've been longing to go on for a long time. You and I were discussing this morning the whole concept of the fact that evangelism, the people here did not know the church. And I can't tell you how many houses I went to. Well, every house that I went to really was, they didn't know the church.
Yeah, we didn't ask it at every house, but quite a few we'd ask. We
Yeah.
never heard the Church of Christ, and quite a number of them had never even heard of it.
Never. You know, they knew God, they knew Jesus Christ. They believed in the Bible, which gave us an excellent, fantastic source of just starting from the scriptures, from the rawest of moments, as I say, from the very, very bottom, and building what the church is about. Okay.
All right, well, this is about time to wrap up. I'm sitting here as our last interview with Dale Jenkins, and I wanted to ask him a few things about his impressions about this trip and what he learned on this trip. So, you've been on several mission trips. Kind of compare this one to other ones. Well, this is about somewhere between 25 and 30 mission trips I've been blessed to be a part of, and they all are meaningful, and while you're there you're processing and learning and remembering a lot of things, but this one was very neat. I'm not a huge fan of the word organic, but it was somewhat organic. Several have talked about that and used that expression I use in that word of kind of going back to just simply going in people's homes, opening a Bible, studying with them, hearing from them, just sharing the gospel with them. I was privileged to preach each night, and I've preached on a number of campaigns, but this was the first campaign that I've ever been pretty much the only one that did preaching, and I preached about 6 times on this campaign. And to have that opportunity and to see the ability each night as I spoke to get more comfortable with the audience and be able to identify with them more and say more to their specific needs and to their specific what they need to hear from God's Word was exciting to do. Well, that was interesting. Your answers are a little longer than they need to be. If you'll go a little shorter on that, it'd be good. Looking back 5 years from now, what will you most remember from this trip? I think you're giving me a harder time than you gave the other people interviewed, but I'll go ahead and try to be a little briefer. It's not like it's a Tom prayer or something. What I'll remember most is actually a study that I had today with the lady. Most every study's been good and enjoyable, and sitting down, opening Bibles with people. This one was really unique. Older lady, I would say in her 70s or 80s. She has one son. He's an alcoholic. He's married, and she's got three grandchildren. She has been Catholic all her life. She can't read or write. And I sat there and literally, and I don't do this a lot, had to fight back the tears because her church has a vested interest in keeping her from being able to read. Because if she could read, she would be able to see that what she's learned through her life has not been the truth. And it was painful to see her have to accept what's been told her rather than her be able to pick up her Bible and say, is this true or is it not? And that was really, really challenging. I think I'll remember that as much as anything else.
Okay.
Well, we've had a really good time, and it's been a lot of fun being with everyone, but what impressions will you take with you away from the team that we were with? Well, that's a really hard question, and I don't want to embarrass you, but personally, I really enjoyed the preaching a whole lot. No, seriously, what I did enjoy a lot was getting to know these 14 others on the trip, being around them, seeing their spirit, their energy. I think one of the things I've seen that stands out to me about Spring Meadows in general is a can-do spirit, an attitude that says we can accomplish, and a want, not just we can do it, but I want to do more. I want to be a part of things. And on this trip, it really stood out. I mean, several commented sitting where I'm sitting now about how everybody would jump in and get involved and do things, how nobody complained. We just had a good time together. It was a lot of fun. We were just a family being together, enjoying each other, here to share the good news of Jesus Christ with people that don't know Jesus Christ. And whether it was one of our kids like Lucas or Logan, or whether it was our oldest folks, we just all enjoyed each other and were able to do our work together well. It was good to be a part of it.